Well, all right, there it goes. Sorry, there's a little bit of weight on it, people, but had to make sure that it was going. All right. Well, I do see we is here. I know people are over at Lori's, which I don't have a problem with that. We're all trying to get viewers and everything like that, and get the truth out there. This show, a lot of people are not going to like because it's going to basically shake the foundation of what they perceive completely. You guys can hear me. I know that. Um, so, what is my show going to be about? It said me. Well, this is me. I try to find the truth the best I can, and I will interpret the truth the best I can because there are certain things that each person has to interpret for themselves. I mean, how can a colorblind person interpret if a dress is blue or gold or white and black? If they're colorblind, it's pretty much all grays. So they have to interpret it themselves. Now, this is not legalese or anything, it's just common sense, which is something we do not have a common in America anymore. Hello, Valley Forge. Hello, Weed Tree, and the others who are here. We've got Pat. We've got Weed Tree, Valley Forge Network, and evidently two others that are watching. Well, here's the thing, guys. I'm going to start screen sharing things for you. Well, actually, no. I've been trying to figure out the best way to get through this because this is going to show a huge point that a lot of people do not want to because they got so caught up in our rights. This is the way I live, and this way and that way. And you know what? There is one way. Hey, Seven, how you doing? Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna screen share. No, we should all know this one very easily. This screen share I'm about ready to do is a very common thing for an American, a bloodline American. Anybody who's new probably will see, oh, that does not matter. That don't matter. We have Sharia law. Fuck you. All right, make sure that it is properly. There we are. Screenshot. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. Now it's the 50 United States of America. And I think what, 2 or 3 territories? Can't remember exactly because by the way America's been going is they're going to try to make every land out there that's weaker than it its territory, just like Rome did. All right, the part that I'm wanting to go after is this part right here. Actually, yeah, let's read the whole thing. I know I read it to calm down the fight argument between Tom Guns and Ed Johnston, but yeah, sorry, I have to stretch. All right, we hold these truths to be self-evident, also known as common sense, people. And if you just look at it logically, these are truths that all men are created equal. That means black, white, Mexican, whatever, Chinese, whatever. Everybody is equal, that they are endowed with their creator who they believe they were created by, or just being in existence, period, with certain unalienable rights. Now, you'll hear me sometimes say inalienable and unalienable. I looked up, and they mean the exact same thing. In fact, the old document for the Declaration of Independence, the drafts, did say inalienable. And then the final one said unalienable. Actually, I'm going to check this. Yep, there we are. Now let's see if it's showing it the way. Yeah, it's showing it white. Shit. Okay, gonna have to go back to it. All right. That among these, that means there's more than just what is here, is our life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You have a right, an unalienable right, to defend your life. You have an unalienable right to defend your liberty. And you have an unalienable right to pursue happiness. Now, that could actually mean, if you think about it, people, we're trying to get all these people off of drugs and stuff, but if they're on drugs and they're happy, that is their pursuit of happiness. I know a lot of people are not going to like that viewpoint, but that is a viewpoint that the government has thrown at us. How many opium places did the government have, or did America have, before they made it illegal? Because, oh, the life was destroyed. Guess what? You were pursuing happiness one way, and it failed. So guess what? Your life sucks. Now you're wanting to change everybody's chance at pursuing happiness with whichever way they want. If you feel happy going to a national forest or going to a forest and camping out, you have a right there. You do not have a right to destroy somebody else's pursuit of happiness, though. Think on that. That is just a logical thing right there. That to secure these rights, now secure, that's meaning to keep a hold, to make sure you have them and nobody can take them. Governments are instituted among men. People that we say, hey, we can't deal with the day-to-day thing. We don't want to have a constant war happening anytime somebody wants to destroy us. So we're going to form a government of people that speaks with the people's voice, or somebody who's going to protect us because they have control of the armies and so forth. And it's instituted among men, not apart from men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That means us. We are being governed by a tyrannical government at the moment. And I'll get to the questions and everything in a bit. And everybody who's came in recently, thank you. I just want to get through this and start making my point. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, okay, life, Lavoy, liberty, pretty much we're afraid to overstep anything because we're afraid that the corrupt government, the elitists, are going to pretty much throw us in prison. Oh, Pete Santilli, the Bundys. And the pursuit of happiness. How happy do you think the 3Ps are being in prison right now? And they can't pursue happiness. It is the right. That's another unalienable right, in my opinion. They don't put it there, but it is, in my opinion, an unalienable right of the people. That's you and me and the thousands on welfare or millions on welfare and millions. I mean, Pat and Mike did a show a bit ago about the, I think it was yesterday or the day before, about how EBT cards are not working anymore. Certain areas they can't get their EBT stuff to work. Don't you think they're throwing a fit? Some people need that because they're either disabled or elderly, and some people need to feed their children. I fully agree with that. Um, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem the most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Now, I want to tell you guys something. And a lot of people sitting here going, we need to have a revolution. We need to get out there and start kicking ass. These guys are fucking idiots. It's that simple. They're fucking idiots. These people that are saying we need to have a revolution and everything don't study history. Every time there is a revolution, there is a period of extreme hardship. I mean, extreme hardship. Because so many people have got used to one style of life. They got used to going over to the market or going over to the bazaar or whatever and getting food, paying for it either in barter or with some type of monetary system, or even just a note saying, yeah, I pay you through my bank doing this, which that's what the Reserve Bank, the Federal Reserve is supposed to be. That's not really money. It has no worth at all except a really good fire tender. But the thing is, guys, after a revolution, after a major battle and the government is abolished, they have to figure out how to put a government back up. They have to figure out what went wrong, how to fix it, and how to make sure it won't happen again. That's what our forefathers did. That's what Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Washington, and all the others, Hancock, they all spent a shitload, long time coming up with the ideals that we as Americans were supposed to today still live by. Unfortunately, after I believe, I'm not fully sure, but I think after World War II, I think it was, America, the United States Corporation became powerful enough, and they became the ones that we follow nowadays. The Constitution of the United States is their Constitution. They wrote it to confuse us and slightly make it altered so they could slowly alter every little thing that we do. You've got a straw man. Read up on straw men. Learn about straw men. Straw men are citizens of the United States Corporation. You, as an American, are bloodline Americans. You need to find out what that means. You need to find out if you are. You need to find out what that means, and you need to find out how to reserve your rights. Because as a bloodline American, the United States Corporation can't touch you. But as a citizen with your birth certificate and everything of the United States Corporation, they can. That was the switcheroo, and nobody caught on to it. Well, very few people caught on to it. And everybody that sits there and goes, I'm a citizen. Yes, you are. You've got a birth certificate. You are an effective non-entity slave to the corporation. Our forefathers didn't even realize that this was a possibility. Basically, the bankers, as Thomas Jefferson had stated, the bankers got in control, and that would ruin our country. And it has. Now I'm going to check I'm going to check these things. Yeah, everybody's mad as hell. Hello, Doug and Seven and Danielle. Hey, Danielle, how you doing, bro? Yeah, I got to pick on you. Desiree. I mean, yes, you should be mad as hell, but you should find a peaceful way to do it. But here's the thing. I'm going to kind of go after another aspect of that. Unalienable rights. Everybody should be able to see this, yes. Well, mostly. Unalienable rights, absolute rights, natural rights. The absolute rights of individuals may be resolved into the right of personal security. Oh, that would mean weapons, right? Firearms. That would be where the Second Amendment comes from. Personal liberty, freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, all that, right? And the right to acquire and enjoy their property. That would actually even include having land, working the land, or whatever you work for, and you enjoy the fruits of that labor, and you are not taxed on it. Taxing is they steal part of your labor or your work so that they can sit on their yachts, or so the president's first lady, because you know the president's probably got about 50 ladies, one in each state, right? The president's first lady can take a separate plane, hold up everybody else in the airport, so she's not late to go to a little soiree or something that is like 5 states away. Yeah, huh? But that's usually costing us about 300,000 to $1 million each time. Some people they're going to go see their families. One that may be on his deathbed, and if Michelle Obama hadn't decided she wanted to go see whoever and hold up the plane, that person might have actually saw their relative before they died and been able to say goodbye. But no, using our tax dollars for that kind of thing, that is where the acquire and enjoy property. Do you guys enjoy paying taxes? I'm going to look at the chat room and see if anybody's saying that. I mean, seriously, you think about it, guys. Right now, I've got my wife and son sleeping behind me. I hear them snore every once in a while. But now, state taxes are at the discretion of the state. I'm going to post something on my Facebook page after this is done, and I'm going to show you guys. You guys need to watch it. It's an hour long. It shows that if you are an American that is doing business with an American business and not a foreign entity, and you get money from that American business or from the business, or even just, you go, as they put it, Mr. Green did yard work and got paid, and the IRS was wanting some of that money. You look at the codes and regulations the IRS has, and basically it, when you watch it, you'll see it. It states that as long as you're an American doing business in America, the federal tax does not apply to you. You are exempt as long as it's an American to an American. Now, any foreigner in America doing business in America, can be taxed federally because, well, they're in America and the money they make here is American. Or if there's a company in another country that is you buy from, or they buy from you, that is taxable because it's a foreign relation type of thing, and that is in the purview of, that is in jurisdiction of our federal government. But you go to a neighbor's house, mow their lawn, build their house, whatever, that is not federally taxable. State taxable, yes, because each state has their own way. Federal taxable, no. The federal taxes are supposed to come from the state, not the state populace, but the state funding itself. I'll do that video up there. It's Edward Johnston gave me that video. Now I want to keep on going with my, I got on sidetrack. That's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, the rights of personal security, personal liberty, and private property do not depend on the Constitution for their existence. They exist for they existed before the Constitution was made or the government was organized. These are what are termed the absolute rights of individuals, which belong to them independently of all government, and which all governments which derive their power from the consent of the governed were instituted to protect. Now this goes with People versus Bearberich, New York. It goes with a lot of different things. I'm trying to make a point here before I get into my big point. This is a build-up, guys. This is a major build-up. And it's going to be one that I'm going to really, a lot of people are going to absolutely hate. And here's the thing, and I'm going to stop screen sharing because that's pretty much it, and I'm going to read out of this. I mean, we all know that the Constitution, this is the United States Constitution, which this is the one that is slightly altered. I've got the Constitution of the United States of America coming to me. I've actually ordered one. But just in this, I mean, I'm hoping if I'm mistaken on what is written here, everybody bandies about that our First Amendment right is free speech. Our First Amendment right. Let's see, I think we're going to have to go to the amendments, which is way the frack back here, I think. Yeah. Amendment 1. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, which we've got Pete Santilli issue, or the right of the people to peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. All right. Amendment 2. Let's just go to, these are the two ones I'm really focused on here, guys. There's other ones are really awesome, but the Amendment 2, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Well, that says that right there, right? Hey, Kathleen Brady. Well, okay, well, let's go with the Second Amendment there. And I'm going to ask the people here that's typing and can understand what I'm saying and be able to converse with me. I'm going to ask you really simple. Well, it's me just reading that. You have a right to bear arms. Okay, let me ask you. Can we window that down to you have the right to bear arms as long as it's just a shotgun? I'll wait for the answer. It's going to be a few seconds. But remember, get it down to the point that the only kind of arms you can bear are shotguns. I mean, shotguns are arms, so if everybody has a shotgun, well, you're still bearing arms, so that's not infringing on your right, right? Ah, but it doesn't say and bear any arms, right? Ah, there you go, Kathleen. There it goes. That is kind of where I'm going. All right, let's go with Amendment 3, just simply. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any home or any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. Basically saying they can't bivouac their soldiers in our homes because they feel they need to have extra space in their bases or whatever. Right, we are technically still under martial law because after World War II, they never revoked the martial law. And then they never ascended or whatever. Rescinded. Well, here's the thing, guys. All right, we got into everybody is pissed off about the concealed carry. Yeah, I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that. That is bullshit. Here's the problem, though, guys. We have those out there who are American bloodline. Like you got William. He had trouble in his past as a teenager. Nothing violent, but because of that, he's not able to have firearms himself. He is not able to bear arms. That's being infringed upon, right? I mean, you think about it. They're trying to make it to where, oh, the violent ones, by what the government standard is the ones that we need to keep the arms away from, right? And then that's how they let you in and say, oh, yeah, that's the this and that's that. And eventually only police need to have firearms. There you go. Well, here's the part that's going to really piss people off. If you're not willing to close down the definition of arms or bear arms down to a shotgun, then why the hell is so many people completely insistent on that America is God's country, is their religion's country? Right here, Second Amendment, our First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. That is basically saying, oh, yeah, all religions, you can practice whatever, but the main religion, by American standards, is Christianity or Catholicism or whatever. People are doing that on a regular basis. In God we trust. They fucked up on that because, you know, that actually, you can mean it in a lot of different ways. But what if I believed in a goddess, not a god? Or let's say I didn't even believe in a god at all. I just believed in a creator, something, an entity that created me. Well, that's my beliefs. That's my religion, whatever you want to call it. Or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. I had somebody who's a really good friend, in my opinion, somebody just a few days ago. Any of you noticed that I had my videos on private for a while? This is the reason. I sat through 20 minutes of listening to this good friend off of Hangouts dial-up, not going live, basically quoting the Bible and saying this is needed, that is needed, and we are God's country, and it says on this and blah 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 with this. I know the Bible extremely well because I was part of that religion for a very long time. And I basically started getting fed up because I hear people praying to Yeshua. I mean, to me, even Jeff Hayes's book, great book, a lot of great information. But in a way, it is extremely fallible because it flat out, it goes off of the basis. The whole book goes off of the basis that there is only one true religion. In a way, this book in itself is trying to mess up the First Amendment right. When they added, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one nation, under God, when they added that back in 1953. Oh, Garian's kind of interesting. When they added that, they were abridging the First Amendment right there. The original Pledge of Allegiance didn't have under God at all. I have no problems with people saying, doing their prayers. I have no problems with people letting it be known that they are following this or whatever. I mean, actually, I find it comforting that they find it comforting. But when they sit there and say the only way we can get through this, or the only way we can be strong again, is under God, effectively they're saying they don't give a shit about the Constitution. They don't give a shit about what our forefathers died for. They don't give a shit that of what America was built on, because they have their religious preference or their belief system that everybody else needs to follow, because that's the only way to get everything right in the country again. Hate speech is also a divide and conquer item as well. Yes. But it is, everybody is enjoying it so much, I'm just letting them have fun. Yes, Weed Tree right there. The time when the Constitution was created, many who came to America was because of being dictated where they could worship or who they could worship. They wanted freedom. And isn't that what we're all about right now? Is freedom? So I'm putting a challenge out here. I'm putting a challenge out to those who are very, very religious. I normally stay away from religion or hardcore spirituality because it is a nest of vipers, in my opinion. I mean, poisonous vipers. I like snakes. Snakes are pretty cool. But here's the thing. After a while, I started getting slightly argumentative, and eventually we started calming down, but this person flat out told me, and I'm sitting here going, okay, well, you know, you're strong in your faith. That's awesome. Keep it up. And he said something along the lines of, you need to start praying, and you need to read the Bible, and figure out where you stand on it. And I'm like, yes, you need to do that. Keep your faith strong. And he turned around and interrupts me and goes, no, you need to do that. You need to. I hung up. That is the mentality that I stay away from, because I am an American. I am a bloodline American, and I have unalienable rights that were even before America. I have a right to believe what I want, and I am not going to be converted or ordered into anybody else's religion. So my challenge to all the other talk shows and all of you self-righteous fucktards out there who think that your way of belief system is the only way. Do you really want this movement to actually go forward? Do you really want this movement to become strong enough that the government will have to back down and listen to us? If that's the case, then I say let's welcome in Satanists. Let's welcome in Wiccans. Let's welcome in those who practice witchcraft. Let's welcome in those who do voodoo. As long as they believe in America's freedoms, I say let's welcome them in. Let's bring them in. Let's start talk shows with them. Let's focus on the real point, not your own little butthurt feelings. All right? Yeah, I'm butthurt because I have spent most of my life dodging the whole religious crap, the whole my religion's better or my faith is better or whatever fucking bullshit. Right now, I feel like I'm in a Sunday sewing circle. Whole bunch of old biddies constantly repeating the same scriptures while they're doing they're quilting they're sewing a quilt. I mean, that's what I feel like. It's the same stupid, mindless bullshit, and they're not opening up their mind, realizing, hey, there is bigger things than what your faith is. And somebody put up a thing that that Islam was made illegal, was made illegal back in the 50s or whatever, to be here in America. Freedom of religion and the practice thereof, as long as they do not impinge on other people's freedoms and unalienable rights, they are welcome here. But when they walk through the streets, terrifying people by the thousands, saying death to America, they've stepped on our unalienable rights. And even in the Constitution, it states they shouldn't even be here. The federal government does not have authority to do refugees. They have authority to generalize immigration, generalize citizenship, and each state can specify which ones they are going to accept, which ways of citizenship they will accept in states. The federal government is making it so that the illegal aliens are able to come in masses. The refugees are coming in masses. They are completely illegal, and they should be deported immediately. I have no problem with Islamic religion as long as they do not try to force me into their religion. It's that simple. But those that are here as refugees, that are not citizens, get the fuck out of my country. My country. Because I've got a bloodline that goes all the way back down to George Washington. And I'm adopted. So how had I got that bloodline? Well, actually, the legalese of it is once I got adopted, I was brought into that bloodline. So my actual genetic bloodline, the biological bloodline, was pretty much null and void at that time. And the bloodline I was adopted into legally became my bloodline. So it goes all the way back to George Washington on my mother's side. So effectively, it is my country, not these illegal fucks that are all running around, burning the American flag, waving the Mexican flag, not the illegal fucks that are walking down the street in the thousand going, death to America, death to America, death. Now, fuck you. Get the fuck out of my country. My country. My son's country. My wife's country. Get the fuck out. There you go, Jeremy. But no, if we keep saying, if people keep on saying the only way to make America great again is to get right with God or get right with Yah or whatever, then they do not truly understand what the Constitution, they do not understand what the Declaration of Independence stood for. They nitpick at it. They decide, oh, we're going to follow this and we're going to not follow that. And if that's the case, I say if they want to bear arms, rip their sleeves off, because if you're nitpicking, that's technically what it is. Go Larry the Cable Guy. Get her done. But get the fuck away from me, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about anymore. So I am asking all those who practice witchcraft, all those who practice voodoo, all those who practice black magic, all those who practice Satanism, Hindu, whatever, atheism, anybody who, whatever religion you are, as long as you believe in America, in what it stood for in the past, and what it can stand for again, you are fully welcome to join me in my focus in trying to make America great again. But there's a catch on that. Oh boy. Here he goes. Here's a catch. Catch 22. Oh no. No, the thing is, you're more than welcome to come over and, you know, get to with me and listen to my show, or even be on my show whenever I open it up. Thing is, I've given up on being able to get rid of these tyrants. I've given up. We can't. There's no way we can get the numbers to. Even if we had 80% of America stand up against the tyrants, they would still win. They've already got plans for all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give people information on how close the time is. I'm going to show them, like I did before on, I believe, Toasted Show. I'm going to show them how to survive when shit hits the fan, because there's no way to stop it. And any of you who are religious and saying, well, the rapture's coming and everything like that, but you're still trying to stop it, are you saying you're powerful enough to stop your deity's will? If that's the case, then I'll follow you completely. Because if you're powerful enough to stop a deity, then you're sure the hell going to be powerful enough to stop this crap. I didn't think so. I didn't think anybody was going to be that powerful. Or the end times, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Underground resistance. Lori, I absolutely love you. I do. I'm not going to be talking religion anymore. I'm not going to be talking faith anymore. I'm not even going to talk spirituality, because I'm not supposed to talk spirituality. I'm going to be talking this and my opinions on this and what's happening in the world. And it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, bisexual, transgender. It doesn't matter. I welcome you also. Hell, I'm more than happy to welcome the FBI, CIA, NSA, DHS, whatever, to call into my show when I've got the lines up. No, see, Kathleen, I'm not stopping fighting. I'm not giving up. I quit on an unwinnable battle, and I'm making a battle of trying to save as many of the people that are listening to me right now, trying to save them from total annihilation. That is what is coming. Sorry, guys. No, I like my beard wax. The lack thereof. Plus, I tried beard wax on this damn thing, and it doesn't work worth shit. This is real wild stuff. I'll trim it every once in a while. But, yeah. The thing is, they've got it. They've spent hundreds of years pushing us to this point. Now, We're just going to have to figure out how to survive and fight back after they've mass murdered most of America's couch potatoes, because that's what's going to happen. Those who are living off of the system, those who are completely reliant on the system, are going to be dying. It's just the truth. So what you do is you focus on how you can survive, how your family can survive. I mean, here's the question. You got Corrine. She says, no, we need to worry about the whole world. Okay, yeah. Well, that's what a lot of people have been doing on a lot of these talk shows, a lot of these alternative media. They're focused on the whole country. But when brass tacks, it comes down to the brass tacks. The people you're going to really be concerned about when shit hits the fan and chaos is reigning out there, you're not going to be thinking about how to save every person out there. You're going to be thinking how to save yourself, your children, your spouse, and your family. And then you'll extend that to your community or really close friends. And then if you've got enough people and you're surviving decently, then you'll extend it even further. But in the end, your nature is to protect yourself and your family, no matter what. So it's very nice to say, oh, I want all of America. And you know what? That's really good ideals. It hasn't happened yet, and it's not going to happen. So you need to start focusing on how to handle it, how to survive and protect and provide for your family when shit hits the fan. And I'll give you simple little clues on that. 3 things to survive. And I'll go into each one of them in my shows eventually, and you can get more detailed. 1 is water. If you have water, you can survive, preferably clean water. Dirty water, you can survive, but you eventually will die if it's dirty enough. Next would be shelter. You need a place that you can hold up, get out of the elements to keep warm and to have protection, not just from the elements, but from other dangers as well. Shelter is very important, which means you're protecting yourself, which actually means part of the shelter thing is making weapons, even if it's a club or a slingshot or a regular sling. That is part of the shelter aspect. Protect yourself from the elements and other dangers. Then you worry about food, because once you've had clean water and you've had a good night's rest, then you can go out there and figure out how to gather food, how to gather the plants, how to set traps and where to set traps. But if you are thirsty or you are sleep deprived because you're out in the wilderness and you're fighting and you're getting cold and everything because you don't have proper shelter, when you go out, you're going to be trying to grab the squirrel with your bare hands instead of setting up a noose. You can survive for, I think it's like 2 or 3 weeks without food. But you can only survive maybe 2 days without water. And you can only survive a few days in harsh climates without shelter. So get your priorities straight. Water first, then shelter, then food. And I will start doing my best to actually show you guys how that works. In fact, I'm going to show you something I came up with. I was thinking of my distiller, and I came up with something so fucking ingenious. I'll be right back, guys, because I need to set it up real quick. I'm going to show my idea. All right, guys, I am back, and here's the thing I'm going to show you. This is a little Martinelli apple juice containers. Nice glass. I got it because it would be awesome. Apple juice. Lately, it's been Applejack because evidently they left it in the in the truck that was bringing it over here long enough and got heated enough that it actually started turning into alcoholic. Here we go. Oh, he does? Okay, hold on. Here you go, Hulk Hogan. Jeremy just put on links. Hulk Hogan just called and said he wants his shirt back because of the neck thing. So now they're going to have to see me shirtless because of Jeremy. If you guys don't like what you're seeing, that's Jeremy's fault. Okay. Here's the thing, guys. Martinelli, I got two of them. See these two? All right. See this? This is a dishwasher hose. See that? One's filled with dirty water. The other is in a shaded spot. The one that's filled with dirty water is in the sunlight. It will evaporate, go up the tube, down into, and it'll drip down in a shaded area or underground if you need to. Dig a hole, put that in there so it doesn't have the sun hitting it so hard. And it will actually have distilled, purified water. You still want to boil it to make sure no bacteria or anything got through with it. But here's something this simple. To distill your water, to make clean water. It'll take a day or maybe two in the sun, but it's still there. There's an idea, guys. Something to just think about right off the bat. So I'm going to put these down on the ground here. They were mostly dry because I just washed them. But, I mean, you get a simple tube like that. Yes, Jeremy, it does work. It's nature. I mean, Jeremy, have you seen any of the, what do you call it? Any of the ways to be able to evaporate water and have it drip down a tarp into a cup or something? It's the same principle, just on a more enclosed area. Now, there you guys go. That's one way for water. My main goal is water. In fact, I'm going to start doing that. Now, here's the thing. Yes, sand filter would work too. And if you really want to make sure that nothing else gets into it, get a piece of cotton cloth. This is just paper towel, but get a piece of cotton cloth, wrap it up at the end of the part of that's going to be dripping into the clean water area. And once that's done, it'll actually get rid of a lot of anything that might have came through. You still want to any sediments or something that follows through with it, which actually would be lead is part of it too. And a lot of people are having issues with lead too. So yeah, that works there. I told you guys one way of being able to survive. Coffee filters would work too. A simple bandana, rip a cotton shirt and put it in there. There's lots of ways. You guys just have to learn how to survive. Because that's the main goal. Life. First thing in the Declaration, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? So life. Well, that's your unalienable right. Does not mean you get it all the time just because. It means you have to work for it. And yes, we're going to have to work for our liberty. If it can be, but I have heard so many people talking about problems. Talking about this is wrong, that is wrong, we need to do this. But nobody has came up with a solution. At all, period. So, I say there is no solution. So in the end, those who enjoy getting butt fucked by the tyranny, stock up on Vaseline. I'm not going to. I'm going to buy a chastity belt. I'm going to put it on me, my wife, and my son. And we are going to survive. And I'm going to do my damnedest to help you guys figure out how to survive too. I mean, until somebody gives me a foolproof, not foolproof, but gives me a solution that will actually work or has a really good chance of working, I'm going to plan on shitting the fan. I have yet to see one plan that actually has a chance of working. Because they already have their bets hedged. They've got it fully planned out. They've been practicing these types of plans for thousands of years. Rome, Russia, Germany, even those who talk about Babylon and everything, they were part of that era, that time too. I mean, effectively, the elite, Illuminati, whatever the fuck you want to call them, were part of that. So, I mean, even if we had 90% of America stand up and go up against the elite and the tyrannical government, guess what? All they have to do is hit a button, stop power, stop food supplies, do an EMP, hell, even hit a button and blow us to hell with their nuclear weapons. As long as they were sure that they were out of the way, they win. Show me a way to stop that. Show me a way to stop that. Show me a way where we could win, and I'll start talking about that. Until then, I'm going to plan for the worst and hope for the best. But, you know, it's going to be that way. All right, Kathleen, nice to see you here. All right, so I'm going to do something I haven't done in a long time. I'm going to open up my free conference call for you guys. All right? I know, scary. I'm actually letting people come in. So let's hear what people have to say. Yeah, host a meeting. You all right, huh? Okay. So yeah, I've been here for an hour, and you just got the full information that I was wanting to tell you guys. So here's the phone call. It's just a nice little recording device. We're going to put that one. AMD high input audio device. It's not going to be very nice, guys, but it'll be what I can do. So I'm going to get them.
Welcome. This service is provided by freeconferencecall.com. You are the only participant in the conference.
Uh-huh. Now I'm going to get a copyright notice because of that. Which...
all participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
There it is again. I'll get a copyright. Fuck it. I don't care about the copyright notice. They're going to do it. The number, I'm going to get the number out to you guys. Hold on a moment. Actually, that's annoying me. So... all right, the number is 641-715-3580. It's the access code is 575362. Come on in, guys. I don't even have my remote for that. I can't. Where the fuck did the remote go so I can hit the mute? Yeah, it'll go copyright. Fuck it. They don't care. They don't, yeah. Yeah, 641 715-3580, access code 575362. Yeah, it's just a phone number. You call it with whatever charges you get will be out of the your like you're calling some phone number someplace from your dialer or whatever. Sometimes it's long distance, sometimes it's not. It depends who you are part of. You guys can hear me fine, right? Like we've actually got somebody. We have area code 708. You are... Nope, hold on. Unmuting you. There we go. There we are.
No, I'm just getting rid of that annoying music.
Oh, okay. Well, they can hear you now.
Okay. No, I'm just getting rid of the annoying music for you. Put me back on hold.
Okay, I'll hit you on mute. And should I say your name? No, I'm not going to say the name. That's 708. Anybody else, please, come on. If you guys could hear her very well, that was awesome. Yeah, it did. Did sound like... speaking of which, hell with it. I'm actually going to... yeah, it is you, Lori, isn't it? Damn it. Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, great. She'll probably never talk to me again after my message here. But here she is.
Absolutely not.
I mean, do you see the logical sense that I brought into that?
Link, this is an amazing message you have today. Oh my God. You're absolutely right. There is no way that we can win this. But we can... I've got such an echo. But we can make sure that we can save ourselves, save our loved ones, save as many people as we can. We have to keep it local.
Right.
There's no way that we can go. There's no way that we can go. Citywide or countywide or statewide or global wide if we can't even provide for our own people, our own family.
And I'm right here in the war zone that has not left. And most of this county is divided. Some absolutely love it, love the freedom idea. Some are still sucking Steve Grasty's cock. So I mean, it's like, well, shit. If I can't even get people here to understand that they would have a better life without all this corruption, how the hell am I going to try to take that to the whole country?
You're absolutely right. Your message today on your show is just one of, people can take it as gloom and doom, but I'm taking it as
reality.
A pep talk for us. A pep talk, a reality for us. It's a reality check for us because it's true. We can't take this globally if we can't take care of our own in our own home.
Now, Lori, you might have missed the message I had beforehand because you were doing your show, and I will go watch that after I finish this.
No, I actually postponed my show because you were going in the air.
Oh, okay. Well, the part I thought you would be upset was it's at the beginning. Basically, I'll ask you simply here with the Second Amendment. It says right to bear arms. Can we shrink down the right to bear arms to everybody has a shotgun? I mean, that's the only one that they have the right to bear arms. But it is technically arms, so everybody has a shotgun, and it's constitutional, right?
I believe so.
But only a shotgun. They won't be able to have a pistol. They won't be able to have a rifle. They'll only be able to have a shotgun.
Well, I mean, you have to think about it. At the time the founding fathers wrote the documents, that's all they had was muskets.
Right, but they were meaning bear arms, and they did not specify this types of arms or these types of arms. They said arms, as in any weapon that would defend them.
That's how I think it is.
Then if you accept that and you're not willing to shrink it down to just like a shotgun, then how can you honestly say that you believe in the Constitution? And I'm not saying just you. There's people out there that do it like crazy, and say the only way we're going to make America great again is if we all get right with God. Effectively, you're cutting out the freedom of religion right there.
You know, freedom of religion is just that. It's the freedom of religion. Everybody has the right to believe how they believe.
Right. Right.
But I mean, you have to keep. You know, this is the way I see it. The founding fathers gave us certain things to follow. I'm sorry. I'm getting such a reverb on the phone.
That's probably because I got the speaker close to the screen, which is giving off the sound, and
okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to like get my thoughts together, and I just keep hearing myself. Anyways.
Oh, come on! You're a talk show. You're supposed to be hearing yourself.
The founding fathers wrote the Constitution, and this is just my opinion. They were guidelines for us to follow, yes. But you know what? At the time, all there was muskets. So the way they wrote it, they had to write it in the verbiage that was of the time.
So you're saying it's a living document, not a contract. It can alter throughout time?
I would say that yes, it does.
So that means they can change it to where we don't have rights to have guns anymore, because if it's a living document, it can change and alter.
But they've done that.
They've done that, and that's fully unconstitutional.
Okay, so you're saying that we should only be able to have muskets? No,
I'm saying bear arms means every type of weapon.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that it should, the verbiage should carry over.
Right, and freedom of religion does not say that this is only God's country, or this country is protected by God and only God's people are Americans.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's where I was getting on that. And that's why I said, let's let the Satanists, let's let the voodoo people, let's let the Wiccans and everybody join this movement.
Supposedly our founding fathers were of Christian descent, correct?
Right. And why did they come here, though?
Well, they came here because of persecution, because of religious persecution.
Right. They were being told they could only worship this. They could only worship this way, period. And that's why they put freedom of religion. They didn't say freedom of the specific style of religion. They just said,
no, everybody has freedom of religion.
But that religious freedom and practice does it is a freedom of that for everybody. And when I'm not saying you guys, I'm not arguing straight on you guys. I'm just making my point here, where it says when you have a right to practice your freedom and your unalienable rights, that means that you have the right to do that. But to force anybody else or to try to convert anybody else to follow your way means you are stepping on somebody else's unalienable rights.
Well, the founding fathers were supposedly of Christian descent. And in God we trust, and all of that they wrote on our money, on all the documents, was the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of the Bible.
Did you see what Jeremy just wrote in there?
Satan causes the echo. Nice, Jeremy.
No, he goes, he's contacting Jesus in Hangouts right now. Links, you are in so much trouble. Hey, you contact him, tell him to bring at least some weed so we can chill out together, all right? It's that simple.
That's freaking hilarious.
They may have
everybody has the right to their religion.
Right.
And everybody has that right to hear the message too. No, I mean, you know, I may talk about the Bible and stuff, but I'm not out to convert everybody. I'm not out to convert anybody. I'm just out to put a message out there.
Right, and I fully accept that, and that's why I know you're not angry at me on that kind of stuff. One of the reasons why I made this show about that is because a friend of ours kind of spent that's why all my videos were private for a while, because they pissed me off enough. I was actually thinking of fuck this shit, I'm gone, because at the end of the probably hour and a half to 2 hour talk, effectively this person, if you go back and listen to the beginning of it, you'll understand. This person, I'm not mentioning who, great person, I love him to death, but he turned around and told me, you need to start reading the Bible and praying and find out what it means, or find out where you're going to go. And I go, your faith is strong. We just proved that. Great. You do that. That's awesome. He goes, no, you need to do it. I'm like, okay, hang up. I'm gone. Fuck this. When people tell me I have to do something like that that's against my rights, my unalienable rights, I have to hang up, cool down. And I have had religions trying to be shoved down my throat for so long that automatically it gets my ire up, like from 1 to 12 out of a scale of 1 to 10 almost immediately, because it's like, okay, I'll keep calm, and then all of a sudden, fuck it.
Well, unfortunately, that happens a lot of the time, Clay. And you know, I would never dream of calling you up or sitting there and saying, you know, you need to repent, you need to get right with God, you need to do whatever, because, you know, you know all this. I mean, you know how I feel. Oh, yeah. But I respect you. I respect your beliefs. And when everything's said and done, we still live in America, and you still have that freedom, and you still have that right.
And when I die, I'm going to Valhalla, because I plan to die, because I will have to be protecting my family. I will die in battle. So I'll go to Valhalla. It'll be great. There I can wench, drink, party, fight, and do it all over again, over and over again. But that's just where I would want to go. I mean, I've got.
You know what? And I respect you for that. Anybody who's going to put religion down somebody's throat doesn't have respect for the person that they're speaking to.
Or they just became overzealous, which this person I'm talking about, I believe that's what happened to him, and he just it kind of slipped out. But it did get me mad enough to where I put all my videos on private, because I was seriously considering if I wanted to continue or not, because it started making me realize I do feel like I'm in a Sunday sewing circle with a whole bunch of biddies repeating the same scriptures, same stuff over and over again while they're sewing a quilt together. I mean, it started making me feel like that, and I realized I'm not going to do that anymore. In fact, this will probably be the last, unless I'm talking about the Constitution, this will be the last time I ever mention religion or belief systems or anything like that, because we have got something way bigger to focus on than any of that, in my opinion. We are dealing with physical matters right now. We're dealing with material matters right now. We're dealing with, well, like my son right here. He doesn't have any idea on any religion or anything like that.
We all have something to bring to the table. We all have a message to bring. I talk about this all the time, that, you know, I was brought into the sewing circle, you might say.
Right.
As you want to call it.
No, it just felt like it. It just felt like it. I'm not saying it is. It's just it felt like it.
I know. I'm just joking too. But right. I mean, I was brought into the group, or whatever, however you want to say it, into the community before Oregon happened. And you know, we didn't see that coming. You know, I was just brought in as a co-host to a show, and you know, it just so happens that I happen to be the Christian one. you know, but we all have our own little niche, you know. I don't know that much about what's going on in the whole militia thing. Okay, that's not my deal. I have always been and still continue to be a Christian eschatologist, and you know, I have backed off my shows on what's going on in Oregon because of, you know, there is you and Mike and everybody else that's doing it. So, you know, we all have everything to bring to the table, and I totally respect you for the message that you bring.
I honestly just am trying to get my opinion out, get the information what's coming here. Oh, and a bit of information I was going to bring out, and thank you for reminding me. And sideways, there is a meeting that happens here every Wednesday. I just found out they've been doing it for a few weeks, and they're starting to build up more. Every Wednesday, there's a meeting that happens here of people who are basically standing up against the corruption and getting together, trying to figure out how to get things going, how to do things peacefully, and try to get Harney County great again. So I'm going to be going there in a reporter status. I'm not going to video anything until they say I can, but I will be giving you guys the information that is not sensitive to their plans. I mean, we all know if we're going to plan something out, we don't want the opposition to know it ahead of time and make ways to block us, right?
Right.
But any information I can get out from those meetings, I plan to get out to you guys. And it's going to, every Wednesday, I'm going to start going to those meetings and get them done. So that's, yeah, I did hear about Ronnie Davis, Big B, yesterday. I don't know what else has happened since then. But no, I fully understand on the respect different people's different ways. You're really showing the Mandela effect, which I'm glad you're finally in on it. I've been dealing with that for a very long time. I didn't have a verbiage or a name for it. You're starting to talk about other dimensions, which I've been dealing for a very long time myself. But I didn't, you know, I'm like, well, I must be one of the rare people that actually understand this. And it is true. It's rare for people to fully understand it because there's an infinite amount of dimensions that are tied and overlapping, basically. They're intertwined, but we can't see them.
Exactly.
On this material plane.
We're seeing things that are manifesting on this dimension that are coming over from other dimensions. Do I believe it's CERN? I do believe it's CERN. If you guys research the Montauk, you'll see that they put us into that 45-day time loop at that time.
Right.
So,
well, there's not only that, and this will really boggle your mind. If you understand quantum physics at all, it's part of the Mandela effect. You know, every decision you made made another alternate reality. Right. Effectively, there's an infinite amount of alternate realities too. So, and every single one of those realities has an infinite amount of dimensions tied to that reality. So think about it. Infinite on infinite, infinitely. I mean, it's so massive to be able to understand that you just are like, okay, I'm just going to deal with what I can now. I'm not going to try to get the whole concept figured out right now.
But, no, you're exactly right. And I'm just learning quantum physics, and I'm just trying to get, it's hard to grasp. It's hard to put your mind around what's going on.
One good thing to, and it'll actually even have a lot of morals in it if you really want to learn the basics of quantum physics. Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Yep.
They bring a lot of science and quantum physics into it, quantum theory, and that's where I started understanding it, and I didn't even know I was. And then when somebody started talking quantum physics with me, I'm like, oh, that's like that episode in Star Trek of this and that, and like the Mandela effect.
There's one with Worf where he goes into a different time.
And that's the Mandela effect right there. Exactly. It's switching between the alternate realities. And it says this ahead of time, and you can learn the basics off of that. I mean, Star Wars is great if you want a good, nice little storyline like The Hunger Games or Twilight, but it doesn't actually teach you much unless you're actually interested in learning what I deal with, which is you go down to the quantum, the subatomic level of everything, and everything's made out of energy. And your spirit, which connects through your body, through your subconscious, effectively knows how to alter things at a subatomic level, just basically altering energy, which miracles or magic or whatever you want to call it can happen with that. And there you go with the Force.
Right. That's right. Absolutely.
So, I mean, the movies tell you a lot, but they give you in a nice story or whatever to make you going, oh, that is awesome. Now back to reality. When in all honesty, it is reality, just told in a different way.
Precisely.
And so, yeah, I've known about a lot of this stuff that you're starting to get into. You have a different terminology and different view on it, but it's great.
I've been looking. I mean, I've been researching for 40 years. It's just now where stuff is starting to make sense and can be brought out.
And you won't be thought of an Aleister Crowley that is just, yeah.
The last X-Files, or the first new X-Files that came out, I swear I went into a panic attack because I said somebody stole my 40 years of notebooks and research and made a TV show about it. It was pretty funny. But I'm gonna let you go. Put me on hold so we can shut up that annoying music, because it's actually why I just called in the first place.
But, you know, you're another talk show, and I'm more than welcome on that, and I wanted to make sure that you understood I wasn't on the first part of the shows, not attacking anybody. It's just making a point. So, yeah, I'm going to put you on mute.
Totally fair. All right, guys, I love you all. Talk to you later.
All right, let's get another caller in here. Anybody else want to jump in? Because if we don't get another caller in, I'm going to have to
Close up shop?
Close up shop, basically, yeah. I'm starting to get a little bit dizzy. That means I've kind of been pushing myself. And I need to in the next half an hour, I need to start getting dinner ready. So anybody want to call in? The phone number is 641-715-3580. Access code is 575362. And, well, if nothing else, at least you'll share the phone line with Lori. I mean, I'm going to be back when things happen, or next Saturday, whichever. It doesn't really matter. But I just wanted to make a point, and yeah, we have to focus on our family, our friends, and our community first. I mean, look at Sheriff Mack. He said sheriff by sheriff, county by county, state by state. He knew he had to start small and build up bigger. We have to start small. So this community we got is awesome. And we've got a lot of people all over the United States, and even some people like in Hidden, somebody from Revolution News and Information. He is from Scotland, and he's got a lot of knowledge and stuff. Next Saturday, I thought it was Sunday.
Father's Day is the 19th.
Jeremy, if you want to come in and interview me, then go ahead. I'll do my best to understand your Californian twisted mind that's willing to give up your guns. But yeah, picking on you, Jeremy. Or are you thinking that you're going to get a show for yourself and start and interview me? I would have no problem with that. Most everything I say, I know that I'm allowed to tell you guys is there. There are things spiritual wise or even knowledge wise I cannot tell people because people trust me. So, okay, so it'll be on your show? Okay. Yeah. Just you got me on Hangouts. So, yeah. All right. Well, if nobody else is going to be jumping on, going to give it a little bit of time. I'll be right back. I'll let my wife talk to you guys from back there while she's feeding the boy, and maybe she'll show show our son eventually. But I need to, because coffee's going through me, I need to go relieve myself. Hydraulic pressure is a bitch. So I'm go ahead and talk to him.
Gee, thanks, hon. I pipe in every once in a while, but doesn't mean I like doing it on a regular basis. Yeah. Here he is. Our heart, our pride and joy. Hi, Big B. Are you going to tell them a story?
Oh, just showing them off, huh? You reading all the comments on it? There you guys go. Yeah, this is our boy. This is these two right here. My son and oh, now we're back. All right, I guess I'll shut down the video or shut that off. But basically, this who you are seeing there right now is who I'm fighting for mainly. And then I worry about my extended family and my friends that I can help and I can get to. And that includes you guys. All right? But this is my main focus right here. My wife and my son. That's the way it should be for you guys too. Seriously, fuck trying to take America back whenever you've got people in your own neighborhood that don't know what's happening or just don't care. Get together with people that actually do care, that are in your area. I've got people in this community that I'm going to be around. Chris Bryles, Larry J, people like that. Those are the people that are going to change things for the better, at least in our community. And I'm going to be part of that. For my son, for my wife, and for myself. Then, when Harney County is strong and free of the tyranny, then we can start helping other counties next to us. And then once those are free from tyranny, then we can start helping the state. And then we can keep on doing that until the whole country. But until then, focus on what you can, what you're part of, because it's a very daunting process to try to take on all of the corruption throughout all of the United States. It's impossible for one person or even 100,000 people to do. So what you do is you change what you can first in a peaceful way, in an informative way. Then you move on with people backing you. Peaceful, informative. And if they decide to make it physical and they decide to attack you physically, you have every right by what the Constitution says, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You have a right to defend your life. If they come at you, guns blazing and everything, you have every right to kill them by defending yourself. Not attacking them, but defending yourself. Because they decided to try to take your unalienable right from you. You have every right to fill out a UCC 1-308 and make it to where you're protecting your liberty, and you're going, you're once you learn what it's all about, you're pretty much, not fully, but you're pretty close to being untouchable by all of the ordinances and statutes, because then you are not part of the United States corporation. You are part of the United States of America. You basically took control of your straw man that they are using against you. Once you control your straw man, they can't use it against you anymore. These are the things you need to worry about with your family and you. That's what I'm doing. Everybody's just enjoying watching him. I know it. That's it. Yeah, he's going to be a great leader in the future if he chooses to. I'm going to give him everything I can to mold him into a very strong American. But I'm not going to force him into anything. Gays, lesbians, straights, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, Catholics, Christians, medicine men, witches, Satanists, whatever. If they are willing to, if they believe in the Constitution and are willing to do things peacefully, I welcome them wholeheartedly. And that's the type of mentality that can make a difference. If not in all of America, at least in your neighborhood. But do not force anything on anybody. Defend yourself, but do not force people to attack you so you can defend yourself. Because in the end, you attacked them, you went against their unalienable rights, and you are at fault. But do stand up for your rights. That is the key. Think on it, guys. Think on it, and think of a peaceful way to handle things. That's what we need to do. Seriously, right here. These men did it peacefully. They had show of arms, but they did not shoot. Who shot? What happened here? The government. He had every right, if he did have a weapon, and he didn't at that time. He had every right, as they were shooting at him, to pull out his weapon, if he had one, and kill the damn murderous cops that murdered him. Because they were trying to take his unalienable right of life from him and everybody in that vehicle. He understood what I'm talking about. And he changed people's lives forever. So, question is, are you going to do the same? Seek the truth, speak the truth, and be the truth. And in doing that, you will show you're an American. All right. That'll be it, guys. Say goodbye, Garion. Okay. How about you, huh?
See y'all later.
All right. Y'all have some great weekend. Enjoy your day. And thank you for listening.